Good morning, welcome to Things Invest. Talk about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's sentence only, the investment talk today will be Ethereum TTH. So it's my second posting as of today. With respect to reporting time of 2:02 p.m. on the Eastern time, Ethereum currently trading $3,379, up about 2.67% so far. With respect to overall crypto market, it's relatively green today. Besides Solana, it seems like it's still selling off, currently trading at the $157 mark, down about 4.62%. It seems like the bleeding is still occurring. With respect to the death cross that's formed, we know that we should be experiencing a little bit more of a sell-off, selling down to the ideal next level to $146, and this next level should technically be the 113 or 114 if you may. But ideally, again, per my technical analysis that I've been talking in previous videos so far, that $66 is still my point that I want to be incurring some dollar cost average. And also, I guess I'll just wait off. We still have a relatively large sell-off from here, right? Close to about $90 of a sell-off. So it seems like it should be occurring, knowing the fact that RSI is slowing down with respect to inertia is pointing downward, and the death cross recently formed. So we should be incurring more bleeding going forward, unfortunately. So with respect to the overall market, it's relatively green today. We know that Ethereum is currently up about close to 3%. Bitcoin's up about 3.27%, right? And the media affectation front, and also on the CPI report, is relatively bullish today, right? With some negative news, but we can cover that in a bit. So firstly, on the CPI report, we know that this, in terms of the depictions and the investment sentiments, it's leaning more toward the optimistic side of the spectrum, right? It seems like the inflationary pressure is less severe than expectations, or at least per Wall Street expectation, right? We subsequently drive up the buying pressure across obviously the equity market. However, around noontime, I would say it subsequently reverses as people start taking profit. And when that happens, it reverses, right? Have the anti-correlation effect between equity and crypto, which subsequently drive crypto to go up, right? Also, another news that came out as I talked about earlier this morning, right? With respect to Bitcoin, Cathie Wood has, talked to media front about her reiteration on her price target of 500K by next 5 years from now. So technically by 2026, we are expecting Bitcoin to hit at least 500K, right? So with that, obviously her stamp of approval, knowing the fact that Cathie is a well-respected investor on Wall Street, and a lot of people follow her and follow her moves, right? That subsequently drive the drag effect across the market, which subsequently drive Ethereum to go up from there. So in addition to that, two big news, right? The Cathie Wood news and obviously the CPI report. I've been reading up the news again. I just had lunch. I had a relatively good salad today with smoked salmon. So it was just a healthy, light. I'm having dinner with a friend tonight, so I think I'm getting Korean barbecue. So I guess I'm just reserving my stomach and my caloric intake for the day for a later day, a big feast, if you may, right? So with respect to the market watch 57 minutes ago, talking about Coinbase, initiated at junk level by Moody, citing that its uncertainty, regulatory environments, and fierce competition in crypto puts Coinbase in a disadvantaged position. So with respect to Coinbase, let's take a look at it right now, right? We're trading at the $244, up about 0.57% so far. And with respect to Coinbase, I would say, is this a good level to buy at right now? I would say we are leaning more towards this, oversold level. We're at the 43 on the RSI scale. However, MACD is still crossing downward. So I think maybe like the 239 or the 229 levels, like anywhere around those levels would be a good level of dollar cost average. So Coinbase is looking more and more interesting as we're looking at, despite obviously this negative news, right? Despite this junk bond rating for Coinbase, we are still, trending on a sideways fashion, not really doing much, which is I guess a good indicator, knowing the fact that, crypto market is green today. So I guess we are sustaining above a certain level, which if you take a look, the 246 is technically the next level of resistance per the technical analysis that we see here. So interesting. You guys should definitely keep an eye out on Coinbase. I think anywhere below like 229 is a relatively good level to dollar cost average for Coinbase. In terms of like just the globalization and market adoptions going forward and a market cap perspective. So Ethereum, just like looking up the news again, I would say there are some news cultivated around like NFT adoptions again, right? More non-substantive, trivial news, if you may. So with respect to one most recent ones that's more relevant to Ethereum would be Immutable raises 60 million for NFT games platform on Ethereum. So this is a new games beats event, and it's basically something around NFT games. I'm not really a gamer, nor am I a artistic collector either. But it seems like with respect to more of these commercialization usage, right, both on the artistic side of the community, on gaming side of the community, and also with respect to e-commerce, seems like Ethereum is well positioned for these global adoptions going forward. So it's good for us, as a long-term investor, knowing the fact that we are hearing more commercializations and consumer adaptation, if you may. So which is great, right? Another news on Bazinga talk about Cathie Wood's reiteration again, right? The 500K price target for Bitcoin in 5 years, right? And this is something Cathie Wood has talked about months ago, right? Cathie Wood has a YouTube channel as well, and she has talked about in her like 1 hour video that she talked about Ethereum should technically be 25K in next 3 to 5 years, and Bitcoin should technically be 450K. But it seems like with respect to this media affectations, talk about 500K, right? But in the more near term, Cathie Wood did specify that Ethereum should technically reach close to 10,000 by year end 2021 or Q1 2022, and with respect to Bitcoin, 125K by this end of this year, right, or early next year. So obviously, this is a relatively interesting timing with respect to the article. The CPI report comes out today. We subsequently surge up on top of the Bitcoin news. Something fishy is going on, right? On top of the litecoin occurrence that we saw yesterday. So it seems like there's a lot of manipulation that's going on right now, right? And ultimately, we are in the business of risk mitigation. So let's go back to the technical analysis after reading up the news. I don't think there's anything substantive that needs to be mentioned on the news front, to be honest. These are just more regurgitation or comparison news. Comparing one cryptocurrencies versus another, right? So with respect to current momentum that we're seeing right now, we are forming a slow curvature at the moment. On top of the RSI is, at the 50 levels, right? So it seems like we are building more of a substantive platform around the 3325, which is we are above it, and we open above it as well. So we open at the 3291 today, and subsequently because of the news from Bitcoin on Cathie Wood's price target, we leaped up to the next level, right? So it seems like it could be a good level for us to dollar cost average at the moment, but is today's macro affectation sustainable? We know that the surge that we saw today was mainly coming from one, Cathie Wood's price target. Secondly, with respect to the CPI report, right? And with that, has anything really been substantive that's cultivated around Ethereum so far beside the NFT news that we heard? I would say no, right? So with respect to the MACD, we are crossing slowly peaking up, but we are not really fully confirmed in terms of the curvature. We're still like leaning down. In terms of the negative apex, we're still, slowly forming a valley, but we're not really forming a valley yet. We're not even like 45% there. We're not even fully 50% there, right? We need to form that 50% negative apex for us to recuperate and then curve up to the 60 degrees and then keep going up from there, right? It seems like we're not really forming a right angle in the curvature line right now. Despite RSI slowly depleting, it looks like we're forming a bottom, but technically it's really not if you compare that with the MACD. Also on the RSI, we're not completely oversold. We're still in the mid-level at the 50s, right? Again, the rule of thumb is really the 35, right? Below 35 is oftentimes a good level to dollar cost average at. And that's why like Coinbase, like I mentioned, right? We are close to it. We're at 44 right now, right? Solana, we're still up and away despite being selling off for quite some time now, and this is a relatively sizable sell-off from 215 to 156 at the moment right now, right? And just to look at XRP, Yeah, I would say XRP is very comparable to Ethereum as well. Dogecoin is again, it looks quite interesting right now. Dogecoin is at the 38, right? And we are slowly forming a curvature. But the curvature is not fully confirmed. But we know that we've been, dragging it out for quite some time now. So again, Dogecoin, I think a great buy at the 20 cents level. So I'll keep an eye out on this one because I'm interested in Dogecoin just like as a hedge, right? And I think it makes sense in a technical perspective. So Ethereum, let's like just follow the cheat sheet again, right? With respect to where we at right now, we know that despite how mixed signal we have at the moment with the media affectation front and the technical front, if you follow the psychology of the market cycle, we know we are in the anxiety and denial stage. We're in the mid of it, right? So follow the fundamentals, follow the logics, right? And how do you follow the logics is to quantify it for yourself. So the frame of reference for me again, right? The 3,000, 2,750, 2,450, right? I think that buying at the 3,150, or the current level, which is we are forming a platform slowly. It's not a bad idea, right? And I know some people actually bought at even higher peak, right? Like the 3,900 or 4,000 even. Just hold, right? Long term wise, we know we're gonna get up there. These investment banks are putting their reputation on the line, quoting large numbers, right? Even higher than what I am quoting, right? In the next 2 to 5 years, I'm quoting 25,000. Some banks like Standard Chartered said 36,000, right? Or even some even said even higher. I think Citibank's at 45,000 or something like that. So if you believe in a long-term vision, that's nothing you have to be worried about. It's just about a matter of time until we get there, right? So just hold and dollar cost average as we keep coming down. It's just a normal course of cadence. It's nothing to be surprised or freak out about. So hopefully this is helpful. It's a relatively short one today. There isn't really anything more substantive news around Ethereum, but I'll definitely keep an eye out on other news that's cultivating in the near future. If there's any surprises, I'll definitely hop back on the camera to triangulate how we should maneuver through these one-off incidents, if you may, right? But really, really appreciate you, and hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day and the rest of the week ahead. You probably see me again tomorrow, and stay tuned for this to come up. Take care.